Sales.com.
Dramatic military jet crash, plus Michael Bolton on ET.
More good news for the great American economy. New government numbers show consumers are spending strongly, driving the economy toward a record expansion. The Columbine tapes. Anger tonight over what's on them and the sheriff's decision to let a reporter see them. Plus, they're only children, but good grief, they're about to put in their retirement papers.
This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. It's the big engine that could. The U.S. economy just keeps going and growing with barely a drop of inflation. Take a look at the latest numbers from the government. Consumer prices in November up just 0.1%. Inflation this year, just 2.7%. That's slightly higher than last year, but still extremely low. And what's driving the economy, among other things, you are. Retail sales in November soared 0.9%. CBS's Anthony Mason reports on America's strong economy and some of what fuels it.
For shoppers this Christmas, it's a matter of simple economics.
It's a supply-demand issue. Your kids demand it and the store's supplying it, so you have to come out and get it.
Call it the come-and-get-it economy. You may have noticed the merry mood at your nearby mall.
I just think it's hectic. I think everywhere I go, there's kind of a rush to buy.
She's right. Retail sales at traditional stores are expected to jump 6% over last year. That's $180 billion.
Business is great. We've seen a dramatic increase in the past year.
Lower prices for DVD players and computers have the Christmas bells ringing at J&R Music World in New York. Online sales are soaring too. Amazon.com reports its holiday numbers are up 150%. Why do Americans have their wallets wide open?
I have some investments in the stock market, and it's doing well.
So on the eve of a new millennium, there's little to worry about.
Inflation is low, unemployment is low. People are feeling very confident that if they even lose their job, there'll be another one around the corner.
Retailing consultant Wendy Liebman.
And as a result, people are saying, well, I may as well just spend up here. Why keep it in the bank? Why keep it under the mattress?
You're right. It's a healthy economy, so shop on, I guess, is that way.
And for retailers, the best is yet to come. Last year, Americans did nearly half of all their holiday shopping in the last 10 days before Christmas. Anthony Mason, CBS News, New York.
Now, the downside, the strong U.S. economy is sucking in imports more rapidly than struggling foreign economies are buying American products. That's why the U.S. trade deficit has hit a record high for the third straight quarter. And new concern that in response to this, the Federal Reserve may raise interest rates to try to cool the economy since stock prices lower today. In Colorado, victims' relatives got their first look at the home videos left behind by the Columbine High School killers. And once again in Littleton, Colorado, hurt has turned to anger and to criticism of a sheriff's office bungling. CBS's Maureen Maher has the latest Columbine aftershocks.
Well, we can't rest on the sheriff's department to bring any closure and healing because they can't even handle the evidence correctly.
In Denver, the airwaves crackled with criticism of Sheriff John Stone and his decision to allow Time magazine access to home videotapes of the Columbine killers before the victims' families. In the tapes, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, seen here during the shooting, detailed plans for their deadly rampage.
Jefferson County Sheriff doesn't care about the kids. He cares about his own ego. If he cared about the kids, he'd get out of office. He'd resign immediately.
Longtime Denver resident and columnist Chuck Green says in Littleton, there is little faith left in the sheriff.
He has made so many mistakes. He's misled the parents in this case. He's misled the public, and he's misled the prosecutor.
The sheriff has apologized, but said it was he who was misled.
He assured us that this would be off the record, that this would be strictly things he's trying to get into the heads of these kids to see what they were thinking.
Last night, several of the families came to see a condensed portion of the tapes, but even that wasn't enough for some parents.
I have to know every bit of information I can about why my son was murdered.
And much of the community agrees.
I don't see any reason why they should not be viewed by the public.
We shouldn't go into the next case like this and say, well, looking back, we should have known. Looking forward now, we should know.
Sheriff Stone insists he will not resign, but says the tapes could be made public in January. That's when the final report on the Columbine tragedy is expected to be issued. Maureen Maher, CBS News, Denver.
On the CBS Health Watch, new research out today suggests the best approach to dealing with the most diagnosed disorder of school-age children, the 3.5 million in this country diagnosed with hyperactivity and related attention disorders. CBS's Elizabeth Caledon is here with the findings. Elizabeth?
Dan, this is the largest and most thorough study ever done on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, looking specifically at how treatment can be improved. Nearly 600 children aged 7 to 9 were followed for more than a year. Some were given only medication, some received only intense behavior modification therapy, and some received a combination of medications and therapy. By far, the most dramatic improvements were seen in children who received the combination therapy.
Elizabeth, there's been a lot of controversy on treating these children with drugs. Will this study end that debate?
Well, Dan, it certainly validates the controlled and long-term use of drugs, particularly the drug Ritalin, to treat the disorder. But the study emphasizes that managing ADHD goes beyond medication. It requires intensive monitoring by parents and additional counseling and support from schools. Dan?
Elizabeth Caledon, thanks. Now, a very different story about school children. They've been in grammar school and part of American popular culture for half a century. And while they are ageless, their creator, sad to say, is not. He's decided it's time for him and them to retire. CBS's Wyatt Andrews reports on the end of a long run for the Peanuts gang.
For almost 50 years, Charles Schulz has given the world a daily dose of humor and wisdom.
You block it, Charlie Brown!
His creation, the Peanuts comic strip with Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and Lucy, will end January 3rd, so Schulz can fight colon cancer. As he recently told 60 Minutes, Peanuts has never been written or drawn by anyone but him.
That is me, what I'm thinking of, what I'm writing, and what the characters are doing. This is where I belong doing it. I wouldn't want anyone else to touch the strip.
No one, that is, except for 350 million readers in 75 countries. Schulz's gift has been to take life's everyday frustrations and make them hilarious. The baseball team couldn't win, Snoopy could never beat the Red Baron, Charlie Brown couldn't kick the football.
Get that football clear to the moon!
People say, well, why couldn't you have Charlie Brown kick the football? Well, I could. It would make him happy. And happiness is neat, but unfortunately, happiness is not very funny.
But if Schulz's appeal is simple, his conglomerate is not. Peanuts characters have been made into toys, cards, commercials, and television specials, and all of that from a man who corralled his insecurities and put them to paper.
This is the only thing I can do, so let me do it.
But he had not intended to quit this soon. He was active at age 77, playing in a hockey league just this year. The bad news, cancer, came from his doctors, and now the man who gave such life to his characters begins the full-time battle for his own. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News. With hostages held at knife point, the FBI moves in on a jailhouse siege. Panama takes offense as the U.S. hands over the canal. And the mouse that bombed, warfare of the future on the countdown to 2000.
I was about as miserable as a girl could be. Heartburn worse than yesterday's coffee. And pains. My antacid didn't do the whole job. And Pepsid takes so long. Then I tried Alka-Seltzer. It just plain worked better.
Alka-Seltzer, the only one with the medicines to relieve all your symptoms.
It really works fast.
And only Alka-Seltzer has the effervescent power to speed relief.
Alka-Seltzer. It made a believer out of me.
Get better relief. Get Alka-Seltzer.
Ring in the millennium with seafood platters from Red Lobster. Shrimp, crab, or both. They'll make any party something to savor.
I'm the Black & Decker floor buster. I eat broken glass for breakfast. I eat cat litter for lunch. Let's just say I have an insatiable appetite. I'm the floor buster. I'm built by Black & Decker.
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan. Still throwing heat.
Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, no one's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
An armed FBI hostage rescue team is heading for Louisiana tonight to deal with a siege at a county jail. 7 Cuban inmates are holding the warden and 2 deputies hostage. The hostages were seized at night point yesterday. The Cubans are demanding to be released to another country. Their leader says he's frustrated with the lack of progress in his deportation case. The hostages are shackled, but prison officials say otherwise they have not been mistreated. A long and sometimes bitter struggle between the United States and Panama is winding down along with the century. At the end of the year, Panama officially takes control of the Panama Canal, built in the early 1900s by the United States. A ceremony today marked the handover, but as CBS's Jim Axelrod reports, bitterness remains.
After a century's worth of criticism for being too involved in Panama, the U.S. was hammered at today's canal transfer ceremony for not being involved enough.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the United States to realize the great potential of this canal.
Jimmy Carter led a U.S. delegation thin on Clinton administration movers and shakers, fueling Panamanian feelings that they'd been snubbed on perhaps the most important day in their history.
We were expecting high-ranking officials, even the President Clinton.
And instead, what are you getting?
Nobody.
The bad feelings are fitting. After all, the countdown to the transfer, now measured in hours, started in violence years ago.
Long-simmering resentment erupts among students in Panama as they...
It is 1964. Riots have broken out at a high school in the strip of U.S. sovereign land here called the Canal Zone.
The trouble began when a group of American high school pupils flew an American flag without the Panamanian flag by its side.
When Panamanians arrived to put up their flag, fighting broke out.
The police and U.S. troops brought the rioters under control. More than a score were dead, including 4 U.S. soldiers.
The riots led the United States to reassess its Panama policy, and eventually to the Panama Canal transfer treaties that were celebrated today.
If not the treaty riots of 1964, it would have been something else. What is remarkable is that it took so long.
President Clinton did issue a statement from Washington today, underscoring America's confidence in Panama's ability to run the canal. But for many Panamanian leaders here, actions still speak louder than words, and they view the president's absence from today's ceremony as a lack of respect for all of Latin America. Jim Axelrod, CBS News at the Panama Canal.
Up next on CBS, more positions, fewer platitudes as the presidential campaign rolls up and heats up.
What if you could treat wrinkles like an expert would? With Rock, the #1 anti-wrinkle cream in France, you can. Developed with dermatologists, Rock's pure and active form of vitamin A works deeper inside skin surface. In a 12-week study, the appearance of fine lines was reduced by 86%, wrinkles by 42%. Something more superficial beauty treatments could never promise. Rock, we keep our promises.
Here's your regular internet homepage, and here's i1.com. You use it like Yahoo, Lycos, or other search engines, only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
Oh, I see. Someone's supposed to struggle with this, right? So let's bring out the blonde.
Just doing research.
I'll pick the one with all of the cash.
i1.com.
Yeah.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
You know my friend Mr. Moretti. He worries about the arthritis pain in my hands. So he came with me to the doctor. Now I am on a wonderful treatment.
Tylenol Arthritis Extended Relief. It works as well as the leading arthritis prescription, but is much gentler to your stomach.
Mr. Moretti says I have beautiful hands.
Tylenol Arthritis. Take comfort in our strength.
Heartburn caused by acid reflux.
some prescription medicines promise you freedom from the pain.
But what kind of freedom is getting locked into taking a pill every day?
Ask your doctor. He may recommend you take Gaviscon whenever you need it. Gaviscon tablets are different. They become smooth and creamy on the way down, forming a soothing, protective barrier that helps keep acid down.
Why get locked in to taking a pill every day when Gaviscon gives me relief?
Gaviscon, relief from acid reflux without a prescription.
Senior State Department officials tell CBS News tonight that more associates of terrorist financier Osama bin Laden have been arrested in the Middle East. This comes amid reported threats of attacks on Americans during the holiday season and a warning today from the United States to the Taliban movement of Afghanistan that it will be held responsible for any attacks linked to bin Laden. The radical Islamic Taliban controls most of Afghanistan and provides a base for bin Laden's operations. The U.S. bombed what it thought was bin Laden's headquarters in Afghanistan last year. In this country, in the campaign for the Republican presidential nomination, it still was not a debate last night, but the hopefuls did mix it up a little more than they have in previous joint appearances. And as CBS's Bill Whitaker reports, the candidates, frontrunner Bush especially, are slowly being compelled to define themselves and what, if any, differences they have.
The morning after the Iowa appearance, Republican presidential frontrunner George W. Bush, the man who declined to meet with gay Republicans, endorsed the controversial Clinton administration Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy toward gays in the military.
I think it ought to be made to work.
It was the same feisty frontrunner who emerged on stage last night when goaded by Christian right candidate Gary Bauer.
Will you commit tonight to having a pro-life running mate?
He refused to take the bait.
I'll name somebody who can be the president.
And the all-time fundraising champ, who has pulled in close to $60 million already, didn't flinch when his closest challenger, Arizona Senator John McCain, pressed him to forego all that soft money raked in by the parties.
We can commit as nominees of the party that we will have nothing to do with soft money, with these huge $100,000 checks. We can stop it now. It's going to hurt the Republican Party, John. I don't think it's fair. And I think that's unilateral disarmament.
After the first debate, some Republicans whispered Bush was an empty suit. Today, others said he'd fleshed it out.
What you saw was a little spontaneity last night and him loosening up and engaging with his opponents. At the end of the day, that's what it takes to win the nomination.
If the debates have been an education for Bush, they've been a primer for voters, too.
We've learned about education. In general, this field supports vouchers. We've learned about trade. Most of the field supports free trade on the Republican side. And we've learned that there's going to be, if there's a Republican president, a strong effort to reform the tax code.
Another thing we've learned, even with publisher Steve Forbes closing in Iowa and McCain up in New Hampshire polls, party pros still are rallying around Bush. They insist his money and organization will allow him to withstand early stumbles and regain his footing by time he gets to delegate-rich California in March. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
In Maryland, a county judge ruled today that Linda Tripp did not have federal immunity protection when she turned over the tape she secretly made of Monica Lewinsky to Special Prosecutor Ken Starr. Today's ruling is a victory for Maryland prosecutors who want Tripp to stand trial for illegally wiretapping Lewinsky. Up next on the CBS Evening News, warfare of the 21st century on our countdown to 2000.
Two large double cheese.
It's about time. I'm starving.
Whoa, that can't be cable.
It's DirecTV. You get all your favorite cable channels. And it's the only service that gives you access to every pro and college sports subscription.
Donuts!
Plus now, you get 2 free months of 32 premium movie channels, including 7 HBO, 4 Stars, and 5 Showtime channels, with no long-term commitments. DirecTV. What are you looking at? Okay, who ate the remote?
This is the base of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
To find the perfect gift for the barbecue lover in your life, at Gifts.com, we test all kinds of gift ideas.
You got your ribeye steak, T-bone steak, corn-fed steak. Excellent gift. You got your cube steak? It's a bad gift. We don't do cube steak.
So when you're looking for just the right gift, come to Gifts.com. Tell us about the people you're shopping for, and we'll tell you about some great gifts. Gifts.com, just the perfect gifts. Register now at Gifts.com and get $10 off your next purchase of $50 or more.
The old neighborhood. And Vinny's? Shh, they're coming. I made your old favorite pepperoni. I can't eat that now.
This can't be Charlie.
I didn't take my Pepsi. I gotta wait.
Then we all wait.
Oh.
Take my Tagamet. You could eat now. When it's too late for Pepsid, it's not too late for Tagamet. You can take Tagamet right when you're going to eat and still prevent heartburn. With Tagamet, you can eat like a kid again.
With 17 days to go until the year 2000, we're looking ahead to the world of the next century. When it comes to warfare, we've already seen smart bombs and other high-tech weapons designed to wreak maximum destruction while minimizing U.S. casualties. But that's only the beginning. CBS's David Martin looks down the firing line on the countdown to 2000.
It looks like a beluga whale, but it may well be the shape of war in the 21st century. There's no crew, just computer technicians uploading the mission software. The Global Hawk is an unmanned aircraft now being tested at Edwards Air Force Base in California. It can take off by itself, and with no pilot to get tired, fly for up to 38 hours nonstop. Global Hawk is designed to take pictures, but program manager Claude Hashem says it could just as easily be designed to drop bombs by remote control.
I will direct my bomber to come over the target. And once I'm over here, if it is a mouse that I'm using, or if there's a touchpad, I will just touch it, and I will just say, drop the bomb, and click.
Point-and-click warfare fought from a control room far from the battlefield.
Warfare can't be this easy.
As an engineer, I say warfare is that easy.
Defense contractors are already working on concepts for unmanned bombers that the Air Force's Guy Hooper says will one day revolutionize air war as we know it.
People run into the bomb shelters, the bombs go off, smoke clears, the all clear sounds, people come out, and the war continues. Well, in our case, the all clear never sounds, because the robot never leaves. It's always there, it's always looking, because this guy doesn't get tired.
But the Air Force is going to think long and hard before it takes the pilots out of its combat aircraft.
Man, we want to be really sure that these airplanes are going to react like we want them to.
Until then, the Air Force will concentrate on keeping its pilots on the cutting edge of technology. Major Glenn Graham is testing a computerized helmet loaded with sensors that allow him just to turn his head toward his target and know that his weapon will fire in the direction he's looking.
You ever feel like one of those guys in science fiction movies where they take off their face and it's a computer underneath?
It's pretty amazing technology, it really is.
But if you think all wars in the 21st century are going to be fought by remote control, you need to come here to Quantico, Virginia, where the Marines are finding out there are precious few high-tech solutions to the nasty job of urban warfare.
Taking a city means fighting at close quarters, and Lieutenant Colonel Gary Schenkel says high-tech won't do an infantryman much good.
He doesn't have time to put down his rifle and pick up some other piece of technology to try and operate and fight against that enemy at the same time.
The nitty-gritty of house-to-house fighting is a world away from the point-and-click warfare envisioned by the engineers at Edwards Air Force Base.
To them, the high-tech possibilities are limitless. They don't have to carry it. If you can't shoot it, drink it, or eat it, you're not going to carry it when you go into combat.
In recent urban warfare exercises, Marines have suffered up to 70% casualties. And that's not likely to get much better in the 21st century.
We're always going to take casualties. It's inevitable. Unfortunately, that's what war boils down to. People get hurt. It's ugly, it's mean, it's filthy. There's no way around it.
No way around the fact that by the year 2025, 70% of the world's population is expected to be living in urban areas. A fact which may keep an engineer's dream from becoming a foot soldier's reality. David Martin, CBS News, on the countdown to 2000.
If your plans are to be all aboard Amtrak New Year's Eve, take note, all trains will stop briefly as Y2K approaches to make sure there are no glitches. But there'll be glitter for your Y2K trouble. Amtrak promises a souvenir whistle to toot in the new century. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a blast from the peace and love past, a hyped-up homecoming today for an ex-Beatle.
Professor, tell us about your discovery.
Absolutely. You can get all your long-distance calls for under $1.
How is that possible?
Just dial 1010-220. It's only 99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes and just 9 cents a minute after that.
When do you get these rates?
Every hour of every day.
And no monthly fees.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, no monthly fees.
I told you they'd love it. Dial 1010-220.
Out here, I'm in command. So am I supposed to say, slow down, guys, I'm constipated? I don't think so.
You try to eat right. Sometimes you can't. Harsh chemical laxatives, they can kick in whenever and wherever. Not an option. So I rely on doctor-recommended Metamucil. It's got 100% natural fiber. Works with my body, gently, which is important to a sensitive guy like myself.
Metamucil, the doctor's natural choice for regularity.
You know what I like about working at Office Depot during the holidays? Customers like Greg McCormick. He's so nice. His company makes peppermint candy canes, and he loves giving them out to just about everyone while he does his holiday shopping. He also loves saving money on everything he buys. Lucky for us, though, the holidays come only once a year.
That's nice.
All that candy gets to be pretty tempting.
Shop Office Depot, online or in our store.
Thanks for shopping Office Depot.
Here, have a candy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for making a leave. For almost 5 years, I often had a hard time walking. I went from doctor to doctor and even had surgery on both knees. Most pain relievers worked for a while, then quit, and the pain came back. Finally, a doctor suggested a leave. Soon I could dance all night again.
Aleve can stop pain all day with just 2 pills. It would take 8 Tylenol to do that.
Now people say I'm a walking advertisement for Aleve.
All day strong, all day long.
We leave you this evening with the latest incarnation and recycling of a pop culture figure. Former Beatle, now 57 years old and trying to stay hip, Paul McCartney got back to where he once belonged, a highly publicized appearance at the Liverpool club where Beatlemania was born in the 60s.
What better way to rock out the century? This is where it all began, and for me, this is where the century is going to end with me playing rock and roll.
And then it was on to business. Beatlemania as geezer mania and the graying roots of rock and roll, part of our changing world. I'll be back later tonight here on CBS with 60 Minutes, too. Who are the people behind the black masks? The same people who were rioting in Seattle? You'll meet them and see extraordinary video, their own pictures of police cracking down. 60 Minutes, 2. That's tonight at 9, 8 Central Time. Till then, Dan Rather reporting for the CBS Evening News. Have a good evening.
For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the Internet and on our interactive partner, America Online, at keyword CBS News.
Hoping for a peaceful New Year's celebration? Not everybody is, and the FBI is on the lookout for trouble.
If there's a lone individual out there that's dedicated to destruction, I don't know what you can do about him.
Terrorism and